Learning how to use Blender in 30 days, day 2. So the main focus of today's episode was experimenting with Loop Tools, which is an add-on in Blender that you can download within Blender. You just go to Preferences, Add-ons, there's a bunch of different add-ons, and you just search Loop Tools and you get Loop Tools, which is really useful when you're modeling stuff in Blender. I saw a lot of people using it, and so I decided to do a little bit of experimentation with all the different tools it has, which is just like there's a bunch of different basic functions it has, such as the circle tool. You can create a circle, you select a few vertices, and then it'll arrange them in a circle shape to the best of its ability. Sometimes it turns out weird if the vertices are kind of, depending on how they're arranged, it can turn out weird, you can make chaos. But if they're arranged properly, spaced out properly, it will actually look like a circle. Anyways, there's a bunch of other tools. There's the curve tool, which you select some vertices and will make a curve between them. And then if that curve kind of looks kind of rough, there's also the relax tool, which will make any of those like sharper looking surfaces, it will just smooth it out and make it look a little nicer. So if you have a bunch of different points, it'll make it less look jagged looking, and it'll make it nicer looking, a little more smooth, which is a very useful tool. I think there's some other tools. I haven't experimented with them all. Some of them I wasn't quite sure what they did, but I'll have to experiment on them some other day. Definitely a very useful add-on. I'll have to see if there's any other add-ons that might be useful that I could experiment with. But I was also experimenting a little bit with just some of the general Blender features, not add-ons. Like beveling. I tried beveling like cube, because if you're making a cube but you don't want it to be like super duper, like you don't want it to be super sharp, just like a normal cube. You want it to be a little softer on the edges, make the soft edges, kind of round them out a bit, which depending on what you're making, that will make it look a lot better. So it's been something I've been wanting to learn ever since, trying to figure out since I first started Blender, like quite a few years ago. I tried doing stuff in Blender and I just couldn't figure it out, how to make the rounded edges. I could not figure out anything with modeling, but now I know, which is quite nice. But it did take me quite a few years to figure it out, mainly because I was just not actually trying hard to model stuff in Blender, so that's why I could never figure it out. But anyways, that's it for today's episode in the series. I'll see you guys tomorrow.